Welcome back to the R6 Masterclass. Today I'm going to show you every single site setup on Consulate. We're going to start off over in the office. We're going to reinforce both of these walls, head holes across. Now we can also make this a rotation if we want. Now we want to open this hatch and we want to also focus a lot of our operator attention into this area. Goyo is really strong, putting 2 cans here. There's 40 seconds of time denial, maybe even combining that with a Malusi. Can be very, very powerful. We want feet holes on this wall and this single wall reinforced. You do want to, if you have barbed wire, barb this window so they don't have the tendency just to want to jump in and rush into secondary. Now, in this reception, this is what they used to call long desk, but now it's in reality it's short desk. I'm sorry, but this ain't the long desk no more. This is the short desk for the people watching at home. This is the long desk. This one long. This one short. Okay, this is bullshit. Can't this be the long desk? And we just have a short desk in here? Or just make this just a straight table across the entire map? Who knows? Anyways, we want to reinforce both of these walls and open up feet holes on each side of the double doorway. And of course, if you're not a completely senseless prick, reinforce this wall as well. Now onto the admin hold. We want to have feet holes here so anyone existing in this area feels very uncomfortable, especially if you have an admin player. Now you want to open up a rotation here and here, and the hatch if you want to hold in below, or you can leave the hatch soft. That's a bit more of a personal preference. Now if you start getting heavy pressure on admin, you can also castle off this door as well or barricade it. If you start getting pressured in admin, you can just fall back and reinforce this wall. Let them have half of admin and then continue playing this area, stopping them from coming in on the door, playing in and around, trying to slow down and make them waste as much time as possible before eventually falling out and going and supporting the short desk or long desk, whichever one you want to call it. I swear that this is annoying. Why did the desk get shorter? Anyways, let's move on to basement. Okay, for the basement site, it goes without saying that you do want the hatch reinforced. Also, open up this wall because it's just, even if you do have a cade, and it's kind of pointless, but they could just place a hard breaching charge of some kind on this wall and just blow through the wall to the hatch. Opening up some feet holes here can make them feel more uncomfortable. The same with this. You do want a player roaming around the top floor to try and slow them down. Now, let's go down the spiral stairs and talk about the server side of the basement setup. You are going to want feet holes here, and to castle this door. And if you don't have castle, well, yes, you can barricade it or use his armies to block the door. Castle this door, open up feet holes here, and that will utilize 2 of the 4 castles that you have if you do bring castle. Now you want to reinforce this wall, open up a peak. You don't need to open it up all the way across, as you can pretty much see the entire hallway. And you will want a rotation in this wall, but I did run out of shotgun shells. It would be around this area is where you want it. Now you do want head holes here, and if you are playing castle, you can open up this as well and have a rotation. But again, I ran out of shotgun shells. Castle off this door, have a rotation here so you can get through if you need to. Reinforce this so you can peek down and through to the bottom of spiral. Castle this door so you can have someone sniffing for toes. Obviously reinforce the main breach, either have it bandit trick, do some impact tricking, yeet some C4s over there to deny their existence, and that's pretty much it for basement. Really strong operators here again consist of like castle, Goyo, Jaeger is quite useful, but a Wamai is probably a little bit better because there is such a wide spread of things that you need to do. A Rooney can be quite fun, but again, I don't see it being as useful as the others. Azami is very, very strong for setting up barriers on this box, as this box sits slightly forward from the wall. If you throw a keeper barrier on this, you can create some nice little pixel peaks onto the door frame and catch people as they walk in. And also put down a barrier to give you some more cover on this peak, depending on how you want to do it. You can also set up a complete pixel peak where you would prone and shoot down this hallway. Now you do need someone that is comfortable with roaming. This is why you bring potentially a Jaeger here. He can provide some ADSs over on the breach side. Not that it's going to do much if they just EMP. It's going to pretty much shut down those ADSs. You can put one on top of the car, one over there. Or put it somewhere here so it can catch the door and anything getting thrown over the breach and would make it harder to be EMP'd. Deployable shields also work in this area. Castle's pretty fun, but if you don't have castle, then again, you're just either barricading these doors, or you can just have them ripped down and play really open. But it is nice to be able to move backwards and forwards on this hallway, allowing yourself to be able to swing and assist. And another place that you can put down a castle is on this door, or just leave it open. Again, it is personal choice on how many different places you want to peek from. Now, in terms of the server side, we do need both of these walls reinforced. Don't need a rotation in this, I just made it so I could get access, and the feet holes again. So, you have one reinforcement left. Later round, if they start pressuring this side a lot, you just reinforce this off. That way, you then have a more closed off site, and you can fall back onto the site and play it. Alright, moving on to piano. This site requires castle. It's just very, very essential. Azami can be very useful. Bandits, quite necessary. And Jaeger can be helpful. Lots of barbed wire, C4 in case they do get the vertical. And there is lots of vertical points, and we'll get onto upstairs in a minute. Reinforce both of the lounge walls. Leave this door open. This is where having a Jaeger can come in very handy. Place an ADS on this wall. Have a head hole open on this wall so someone can assist onto this double door if needed. You are going to want a player controlling this space. You don't want them playing in here, as playing behind this desk can be quite suicidal. Regular barricade this door. Then in terms of the exposition room, reinforce this so someone can play nice and tucked up in the corner comfortably and assist for the guy that's playing the lobby door. Open up the middle of the site, or at least half of it, so you have a way to get through. Open up feet holes across this wall, reinforce this wall, open the hatch. And you can also open this hatch, although I wouldn't recommend it because it just gives a lot of peeks up into the site. So I'd just leave it soft. If they open it, they open it. Then you get an escape route. Happy days, right? Now let's move on to the upstairs. Oh, one more thing before we go upstairs. Reinforcing these back two walls. Bandit, battery, these two walls, and the wall over there. And the tucked wall in the corner. Or, again, you can remove one of the bandits, but the tucked wall in the corner does need to stay bandited. You will need to castle this door. Open up feet holes here. Regular barricade this door. Castle this door. Open up holes through this. Open the hatch and then open vertical here. So when you're on this side, you can look down to the door. And you can open it up further and see this door as well. And also see it from the hatch. You can open up vertical onto the bottom of yellow and to this window, which is another point you need to watch out for. You could open vertical through the top of the wall to check the precise corner where people will be sitting, and you can open up vertical here to check the other corner of that hallway downstairs. Now, you will need to reinforce this, and if you do have a bandit, the best place for that bandit to play is up here. So he can trick this singular wall and then play this vertical over here. And then you want to open up feet holes, castle, feet holes, castle. Alright, onto the teller's site. Now, this one is painful and you definitely do need a castle. You want to start off by reinforcing these three walls and this wall and electrifying all of them with a bandit, and C4 here will be quite useful. Castle this, open this. Screw it, we'll drop down here. We also need to castle this wall, door, yes. Reinforce this one, reinforce the middle head holes, rotation, and then the door on the other side of here needs to be castled, and we also need this hatch reinforced. And then we want to reinforce this wall and open up the hatch, or have someone play on this hatch with a shotgun that can then drop down and rotate and move around if they get pressured out of the vending. Now, we leave this wall soft, and we potentially also... let me open this up. We want to castle off this window. So if they start smacking the window and all of that, and they're in this area, we can just spray them through the wall, or optionally open up some holes on the bottom. And then when we're bored of holding this, or we start getting pressured off, we can just leave and go away. Now, optionally, we can also have this door castled, but again, that's one of those, it's personal preference. It depends on the situation. Maybe have the castle potentially playing in an area such as that one that can then castle it after playing the feet holes or whatever over to the window. Now, in terms of the administrator hold, we need to basically have an Azami up here. Like, we need to have this hatch reinforced because they get this control, they can dominate multiple floors of the site, and that's just not good enough. And we also need to be able to stop bullets from flying at us in here, so throwing some of Azami barricades in these walls and making their life taking admin very, very difficult is very necessary. Now, this is one of those sites that I just would never want to hold unless I was being held at gunpoint, because this not be fun at all. Other than that, links are in the description if you want to join the channel, see some of the bloopers, outtakes, and other content, maybe other games that I play that isn't R6 related, besides me streaming them. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.